Once upon a time, in the heart of a mystical forest, there lived a little frog named Fribbit. He dreamed of soaring through the sky like his feathered friends. Fribbit approached the birds, shyly asking for their wisdom. The birds saw the longing in his eyes and taught him all they knew about the sky. They showed him how to leap and glide, and Fribbit practiced every day until he could almost fly. But not quite. Fribbit worked tirelessly, collecting wood, metal, and tools to create his flying machine. It took days, but it was finally ready. With a leap of faith, he soared into the sky. The owl was amazed and declared, "Fribbit, the bravest frog in the forest." Fribbit's heart raced as the storm overtook them. Strong winds and heavy rain battered their tiny flying machine, but he didn't give up. With Owl's help, they made it through the storm and landed safely. Fribbit declared it the greatest day of his life. Fribbit and Owl searched for another way around the canyon. They came across a rickety bridge that didn't look very safe. Fribbit knew he had to trust his instincts, take a deep breath, and try his best to cross it. Fribbit and Owl held hands and ventured deeper into the cave. The dark made it hard to see, and there were strange sounds all around. But they didn't let go of each other's hands. As they turned a corner, they saw a glimmer of light and knew their journey was not over yet. Fribbit and Owl realized they were lost and didn't know how to get back home. They searched high and low, but everything looked unfamiliar. Just when they thought they would never find their way back, they heard familiar croaks in the distance. Fribbit and Owl approached the source of the sound slowly. It turned out to be a friendly deer who had gotten lost. They offered to help the deer find her way back home. Along the way, they met many new friends and learned about the beauty of exploration and adventure. Fribbit and Owl followed the voice and discovered a bird tangled in some vines. They worked together to free her and learned that she was a messenger bird who had gotten lost. She thanked them for their kindness and offered to guide them home. Fribbit and Owl searched for a fallen tree or a log to use as a bridge but weren't successful, so they decided to build a raft using long bamboo and vines. They worked together and built it quickly. They set sail on the raft and crossed the river safely, with the bird guiding them. Fribbit and Owl approached a kind traveler who had a map of the forest. The traveler offered to help them find their way back home. They followed the map and the traveler's directions until they finally spotted their village on the horizon. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird found a cozy spot under a tree and settled in for the night. They shared stories of their adventures and listened to the sounds of the forest. Fribbit felt grateful for his new friends and knew that their journey had brought them even closer together. Fribbit and Owl explored the abandoned castle, discovering secret rooms and hidden passageways. They found old paintings and dusty books that spoke of magical creatures and enchanted lands. But danger lurked in the shadows, and they soon realized they were not alone. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird decided to explore the mysterious portal. They cautiously stepped inside and found themselves in a realm unlike anything they had ever seen. The sky was a brilliant shade of pink, and the trees glowed with an otherworldly aura. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird searched for an oasis or a water source. They stumbled upon a well, but it was dry. As they continued their search, they spotted a group of camels at a distance with renewed hope. They followed the camels and eventually found a watering hole. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird stayed silent and hid behind a nearby bush. They watched as a pack of hungry wolves ran past, their sharp teeth glistening in the moonlight. Once the wolves were out of sight, they let out a sigh of relief and continued on their journey, glad they had avoided danger. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird searched for another route, but all they could see was dense forest. Just as they were about to give up, they met an old fox who knew the land like the back of his paw. He offered to guide them to a safer path, and they gratefully accepted. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird approached a friendly squirrel and asked for directions. The squirrel pointed them in the right direction and warned them about the dangers they might encounter. They thanked the squirrel for their help and continued on their journey. Fribbit, Owl, and the bird set up camp and started a fire. They shared stories and roasted marshmallows, and as they settled in for the night, the stars twinkled above. They fell asleep to the sounds of crickets chirping and the gentle rustle of leaves. Fribbit tried to jump from rock to rock, but he slipped and fell into the rushing water. Owl and the bird immediately sprang into action, grabbing a vine and lowering it to Fribbit with their help. Fribbit was able to grab onto the vine, and they pulled him to safety.